is up, world? Welcome to Apocaflix Now, the movie hangout show from us, Apocaflix Movies. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and I am joined by Brian Avalosino and Jake Berlin. For now, Mr. Keith Barnes is going to be joining us pretty soon here. What is going on, guys? How's it going?
Busy day.
Yeah, it's been a it's been a busy week, busy couple weeks. It's been a long couple weeks. But I'm excited to be here. It's weird because we did our first Thursday show last week. Well, technically second, but really our first official.
Yeah.
The 4-day break is very odd. It feels so long, but it's also nice because we get to come back. We feel rejuvenated. And I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while, so it's nice.
I agree with you. I was like, it's been a long time since we've done now, and it's just a 1-day difference, really, like as far as distance wise, and it's crazy. But yeah, I'm getting used to it, I guess.
Take a while.
What about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. You know, school, as you know, football just started, so my mind's wrapped up in that.
Did you get your butt spanked this weekend?
No, what is that?
Oh, you beat Brian?
Oh, well, so in the league where all three of us play in, that league, I beat Brian, but I lost in most of my leagues, though.
Wow, I smashed in our league.
Yeah, because you have Christian McCaffrey with the number 2.
He didn't even get me all my points.
Pick. He got a lot of points, though.
Nobody's going to touch me this year.
But, dude, Devontae, I think you have Devontae Adams as well.
Devontae Adams and Russell Wilson had 90 points for me.
Oh, my goodness. That alone would have beat Brian, maybe. And I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yes.
Get the hell out of here. I had like 140.
Hey, ours was very close, actually, because Juju Smith-Schuster started going off last night.
I know. So you wouldn't have won if it wasn't for Josh Jacobs.
Oh, that's true.
Dude, Josh Jacobs, stud.
I agree.
He's literally the reason why Jacob beat me.
How about those Niners, Jacob? Man.
They lost, man. I guess Kyler Murray's the next great thing, so we'll see, man. It was a tough loss, but nobody here watching cares about football, at least not that we know of. But yes,
I'm pretty sure Rachel does because she's she lives in Arizona, which would make her a Cardinals fan.
If she's a fan,
the Cardinals.
Rachel, just go along with it. Say the Niners suck and just
the Arizona professional football team beat my favorite football team.
Let's not start doing that. Not start doing that.
I'm just saying for people who don't watch football. People who don't watch football.
I thought you were going along with the Washington football team thing.
That's just another interesting thing. But yeah, so we're going to get to our movie watching challenge. But since Keith isn't here yet, he did watch Troy. He was challenged by Jake. Whenever Keith hops on, he's going to review that with us. But before that, we're just going to get to the next person challenged, and that is Brian Avalosino. Keith chose Brian to be challenged. So we're going to reveal what movies he was challenged to. Oh,
that's dope.
Okay. Wow. That's
all
awesome.
right.
Jake's dad did the Falcons.
My dad did the Falcons. He didn't design, he built. So a little different there. But
that's pretty cool. But yeah, so we're going to reveal what movies Brian was challenged to here. And then, like I said, once Keith gets on, we'll touch on Troy with him, which I can't wait for because it's one of my favorite movies ever. So let's get to it.
So we changed things up a little bit. We've been having a conversation here on Apocaflix about how we're gonna I know how we want to be challenged for this movie watching challenge. We've changed it a few times in the past, and I thought to myself, you know what, since we've been talking about it so much, why not give the person who's being challenged the option of either picking a number like we used to do, or let the fans, our viewers, our devoted fans, picking that movie for them. And so for this round, Brian decided to let the fans do the talking. And so there will be a poll this week for which movies he will be watching. And those movies are, and we're not going to say who challenged, but those movies are Jerry Maguire, A League of Their Own.
Ooh, I want that one.
And Castaway.
Someone coming again with the damn Castaway.
3 movies that everyone needs to watch.
Yes.
3 very different movies, which is exciting because typically we get with Brian, it's usually get the Oscar drama in there or something. And that's not the case this time around.
I mean, Castaway.
But
yeah, of course, but
Castaway
that's
is
not a typical. That's not like a No Country for Old Men. That's it's different.
That's fair.
But I would say Castaway is not boring at all. At least not for me. Like we don't purposely try to give movies to Brian that he wouldn't like, but he hasn't watched a lot of slower, longer drama type movies. Yeah,
because I get bored.
So we end up challenging him to those. But I think Castaway is just something that everybody can enjoy for sure.
Castaway is not slow. Neither of these are slow. You're going to be entertained on any of these. That's for sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
Jacob, just so you know, I will be watching at some point this week, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, because Ratched comes out on Friday, and I really want to watch that show.
Yeah, I think you should watch the movie going into it, so you could know where people are coming from with that character.
Yeah. So, yeah. Woohoo!
Brian, do you have any guesses on who challenged who?
It's honestly that's a hard choice, like a hard mix, because I could see each of you picking that movie. If I had to guess, my brain keeps telling me Jacob's A League of Their Own, and Keith is Jerry Maguire, and Jake is Castaway.
All right, we'll find out next week to see if that is the case.
Well, either way, you don't tell me.
Yeah, we'll just kick you out of the stream, and then we'll tell the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll find out which one of them were, so you'll find out if you're right for one movie.
I know which one I'm hoping for, but
yeah, you could just watch all three of them, Brian. Either way, you're good. There you go.
Why not?
There you go. So if you, and while we wait for Keith, I want to tell you guys a little bit about our podcast. If you have not already, you should find us. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought that was Keith. That was I saw a fourth window pop up. I thought it was Keith. But yes, if you have not checked us out on audio platform, you can go ahead and do that. It's very easy to access. You can go to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. You can go to what are the other ones here? Spotify, and check us out and listen to us in
Apple
audio.
Podcasts, Breaker, Google, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and just our RSS feed.
Yeah, Anchor was the one I was trying to think of, the one that it's actually streamed through. Anchor.
It only says Anchor in the top left corner.
I know, and they actually, I've never checked theirs out. They actually have their own app and stuff where you can go listen to podcasts too. So
they do, and they're really nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
I use Google Podcasts. Really, I love their platform. You guys probably use Apple Podcasts, which is great as well, I hear. So please go check us out and comment and rate, please. That would do us a bunch of help. Even if you don't listen to the full episode, give us a rating, give us a comment. We would really appreciate it. That would help us out a lot. But yes, it is Tuesday, which means it's Tuesday News Day, which we're going to be talking about news every now and then, and maybe doing reviews as well when there are some movies to review. But there was some interesting stuff to come out this week, including a trailer and a huge potential news story. So Jake, I'm going to let you get into these news stories for us.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to be talking about before we get to the big one that kind of happened today is some Marvel Cinematic Universe news. And now this hasn't been officially confirmed by the studio, being Marvel Studios. They haven't come out and said that this is the case as far as who this person is playing. But this person is in fact officially in the universe. He's been cast in Ant-Man 3, and that is Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors is an up-and-coming actor, and I'll pull up his image once I'm done talking here, and I'll upload one. That way we can show his face. He was recently in Da 5 Bloods. He played the son to Delroy Lindo in that film, the Netflix film for Spike Lee. He is currently on Lovecraft Country on HBO, which apparently is a massive hit. I have not watched it yet. He's an up-and-coming actor who has gotten a lot of looks as of late, and he has been cast in Ant-Man 3. And according to Deadline, who broke the story, their sources are saying that he's in fact going to be portraying Kang the Conqueror, a character that has been wanted and rumored and suspected to be involved in this universe for a very long time. I will say that it is very interesting timing, being the fact that Thanos is officially out of the universe for now and probably forever, they need a big bad. And Kang will very much fit that mold. And I'm actually going to, before we get into discussions, I'm going to shoot this over to Brian. Brian is going to break this down for us a little bit about who Kang the Conqueror is exactly. That way we know Jacob and I have a little backstory as well as you viewers in case you don't know. And so, Brian, the floor is yours. Who is Kang the Conqueror?
Yes, as the resident comic book nerd. So Kang is interesting because he is definitely a huge Marvel villain. So if you don't know, he's a Thanos level villain.
He's what you can consider a supervillain.
Yes. He is a large scale villain that has been attacking the Avengers since like almost the beginning. So a little backstory on him. He is from the 30th century. So clearly a future person. And there's different ways like that you could go about this. Like his story originates as him being a 16-year-old, and then his future self visiting him and saying like, you're gonna be a bad guy, and the kid's like, and you're gonna be a bad guy, and you're gonna conquer the galaxy. And
that's why I was hearing that he may play a younger version of him.
Yes,
now it makes sense to me. Okay,
so he's heavily tied into Young Avengers too. The younger version, and the younger version is called Iron Lad, and he doesn't know he's a bad guy until Kang from the future comes and's like, you're gonna be a bad guy, you're gonna conquer the galaxy, blah blah blah. And he's like, the kid version's like, no way, I'm gonna do everything I can to not be that. So he's like, that's a version they could go. And he has no superpowers too, by the way. He's your typical super intelligent, like highly intelligent. He wears a suit that's future tech and stuff like that. That's why
I'm trying to pull an image for him right now.
Yeah, that's why he looks blue, but he's not actually blue. But he is from a different Earth. He's from Earth 6311. So a different variant of Earth. So there's your multiverse tie-in. Ironically, his actual human name is Nathaniel Richards, which, if you didn't put two and two together, is the name of Reed Richards' father, which would be Mr. Incredible, or yeah, there you go. There's a picture of Kang. He would be Mr. Fantastic's father. But here's the catch. That's his alias. Marvel has never in the comic books come out and said that is Reed Richards' father. So the people that are going, it's Reed Richards' father, like blah blah. That means Reed Richards is going to be black and blah 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 blah. That's a highly huge possibility if that's the way they go. But Marvel in the comics has never once ever confirmed that's Reed Richards' father. So, and believe me, I did my research to try to find out that answer, and it has never been once said. So his alias, how he's known in the future in Earth 6311, is Nathaniel Richards. So it could end up being the tie-in that everyone's saying, oh, boom, there's your tie-in to Fantastic Four.
So he's from the future, but he's Reed Richards' father?
Did
I get that right?
He is Reed Richards' father on Earth.
Okay. Got it. On different.
Yes.
Got it.
On the different Earth.
Okay.
And so people are saying that Earth 616, he is a descendant of some tie-in like that. But it's, I mean, Nathaniel Richards happens to also be a time traveler. So it's like as closely combined into it. Hi, Keith.
Keith Barnes is here.
Keith.
Hey, I am here. Hello.
What
Yeah,
is that?
Brian, that's for someone who has never read a comic with Kang in it, which is very surprising. I know the basics of him, and I know a lot of people absolutely want to see the character in the universe. And there's specific reasons why, but the backstory that you just gave definitely helps me kind of put the pieces together as far as things I've been hearing lately.
Yeah. There's one.
And I know.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
There's just one other thing that I want to stress that I think people are actually really overlooking right now is that Kang has a very tied in, hated relationship with Doctor Doom. They have been going at it like as long as forever, and there is a point that there's even suggestion that they're related too, and also that he what
Really?
yeah
Oh,
but,
it's related to Doctor Doom, really?
yeah but it would be a different Earth type of relationship, but I don't think they're going to do that. But in the 40th century, in the future, Kang finds a future tech version of old Doctor Doom product, and that's what enables him to become a time traveler. So like I don't know the story that well, but there's also a point where he travels back to the 16th century, which is during Egyptian times, which they used, if I'm correct, one of Doom's ancestors was kind of like the ruler at that time until Kang came and said, beat it, I'm the ruler here. And those two have a very like black and white, like they are always seem to butt heads at some point, which is funny because I just finished reading Infinity War, not Infinity Gauntlet, which is what the Endgame's made after, and those two team up in Infinity War to take down Adam Warlock, which is ironic. So
that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of there's definitely a lot of possibilities with this character. I know a lot of people have been throwing around obviously the connections with Fantastic Four, and some other characters. The possible connection, the one that I've seen a lot, is the Loki connection because he's time traveling, and that type of stuff, which would be really cool. And so I'm glad to hear some backstory. And he seems like a badass and someone that can really be like that central villain for a certain phase or two going forward. Which is very exciting. I definitely think it's really, really cool.
I would say, honestly, I would not be surprised if he is a villain that comes in for a little while, then disappears, and then comes back.
Like a Red Skull, but back, but really, really back.
Yes, like he somehow he's gone for a while, and then stuff starts happening, and then you realize it's him.
Time travel, you can do that kind of stuff.
I just lost my one main point that I was going
Jacob,
to go
what do you
after
think,
with
man?
that. Go, yeah, I'll think of it.
So there was a point like, 2 or 3 years ago where I was reading comics heavily, and I was reading the Avengers run, and Spider-Man, forget exactly who was on the team, but Spider-Man was on the team, and it wasn't like the typical Avengers team. It was like a newer Avengers team, and Kang was the main villain, and he was messing with all of them. He was like messing with all their backstories and manipulating them through time travel and just messing with all their heads. And then they couldn't beat him. He was just I didn't know he didn't have superpowers, to be honest, because that's crazy, because I just remember he was such a major villain. Like they could not figure out a way to beat him, and their plan was, how they make that joke in Endgame about going back and killing Thanos when he was a baby. They have a plan to go get Kang when he was a baby, and I don't think they mean to kill him, but they either mean to put him away or like change his life. And affect him that way. So then he can't affect them in the future. So I do know he's a very formidable villain. And this could be your next Thanos, because even though Thanos didn't really show up until Infinity War, he had a presence throughout the MCU. He was in the end credit scene of Avengers. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was looming in the background. And if you could have a similar thing like that, I love it. Look, I think this is the next way to go. Like, I love Doctor Doom as a villain, but I think they're gonna go like anti-hero with Doctor Doom, honestly, which unfortunately I think they're gonna do a low thing with Doctor Doom. But I think Kang is your next Thanos. He's your next big villain. And him showing up in Ant-Man 3, if this is true, I love that, because as much as Ant-Man played a huge role in Endgame, his movies are like the smaller scale ones, right? So to give this next big villain make his debut in Ant-Man 3, I love that. And it's not just random. It makes sense because they were time traveling through the quantum realm, and who was responsible for leading them to that is Ant-Man. So what if they messed something up through their time travel and Kang's like, what the hell did you guys do? And he wants to, pay Scott Lang a visit because of that, or something like that. Or maybe they opened up the ability for Kang to time travel in the first place. I don't know, but I honestly, when I saw this storyline, I got super excited.
Yeah, and they real quick. This is Jonathan Majors. This is who will be playing the character. If it is in fact Kang, he is. Keith, I mentioned this.
If it's true, yeah.
Yeah, and I had mentioned this, Keith, before he jumped on, but he's currently on an HBO show, but he was also the Delroy Lindo's son in Da 5 Bloods.
Yes. He was great in Da 5 Bloods. That's what made me like.
Yeah, so that's where you could probably recognize him from recently. He's definitely a hot topic recently. I will say this about the Ant-Man 3 introduction to the character, if it happens. They've been talking about this movie a lot recently over the last couple weeks, as far as it being like a next level scale for this franchise. Like, it's going to be double, triple what the first movies were. It's going to take on the whole MCU frame, and it's really going to just step its game up. And it makes sense because of the quantum realm, because of possibilities. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but we talked about Ant-Man 3 possibilities a while ago, with where the Fantastic Four can be introduced. And I had said, I guarantee that Ant-Man 3 will at least introduce by name or possibly appearance of a Fantastic Four character. I think that that's where it's going to happen. And Brian, you can either confirm or deny this, but Kang has a massive connection to the Fantastic Four outside of the Richards thing, right? Like, he's almost like a Fantastic Four villain in a way. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
If you were to place him at one section of the Marvel universe, you'd probably place him with the Fantastic Four over like the Avengers.
I would say
them and the X-Men, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His scale crosses Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the Avengers. Those are his three.
Oh, so he's all over the place. Okay.
Yeah, he's all over the place. The thing that it's going to come down to is where they want to tell his story from. Like I said, if they want to tell his story from a young age, which you're here, I mean, we've heard every possible rumor so far. If they want to tell it from his young age, then yeah, you could throw X-Men into that, because Young Avengers, they have that type of character work in it because they're in there. The X-Men are tied into that. Fantastic Four, then you have the whole relationship of the Richards possibly being the father, even though it's never been confirmed. Where he shines, if you will, is Avengers, because he's that scale of a villain, because he's literally
makes sense,
conquering worlds and stuff like that. Like, his end game is to be the conqueror of all worlds. He kind of almost reminds me of a Brainiac in a way. Superman. But yeah, I mean, the Fantastic Four is literally that he might be the father of Reed Richards.
And the other thing I was going to say about Ant-Man 3 is that Ant-Man 3, as of right now, from what we know, is the central part of the quote-unquote new Avengers because of Cassie Lang. Like,
Yeah.
and if Kang does have a connection there, if they're going to go that route with an Iron Lad or whatever, there's your piece of the puzzle that connects it even more so to Ant-Man 3. So it sounds like at this moment in time, if they do bring Kang in, out of all of the Phase 5 movies that are happening, this is the perfect quote-unquote movie because of not just the new Avengers, but the possibility of Fantastic Four and the quantum realm and all how that physics stuff works with time travel and all that good stuff. So it really does fit. Like, I don't know if he's like Ant-Man versus Kang sounds a little weird. But if they introduce him in the movie, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they introduce him in the movie, that's cool. I'm down for it.
The biggest possibility and thing to me that comes from this is the quantum realm. That'll be probably
There's so many possibilities with that thing. Oh my god.
That'll probably be because I have a feeling quantum realm is going to be their time travel from here on out. And if that's the case, then that's probably how Kang is going to get around, is through that.
Well, and we'll just say and I know neither of you finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but the final 2 episodes, they actually traveled through the quantum realm. So there you go. So even in that, they are doing the quantum realm.
And I heard a theory a long time ago that I honestly, truly, to this day, still think that's going to happen, is that and I'm sure you guys have heard it too, is the theory that the Fantastic Four have been around for a long time. They just got trapped in the quantum realm. I think that
and they were from the 60s or something, and they were
it's the only because Peyton. Well, here's the Peyton Reed had a script
direct Fantastic
where
Four,
they were in the 1960s, and to bring them into present day, how do you do that? You trap them in the quantum realm.
I think this could be a big movie. I'm not saying as big as Civil War or something like that. We're hearing Captain Marvel 2 is going to be like that, but what if this movie introduces the whole Fantastic Four and they're working with them taking on Kang the Conqueror?
This could be a Ragnarok size movie.
Yeah, like that's a
good comparison.
Kang the Conqueror somehow. Like, it's not just going to be Ant-Man and Wasp taking on Kang the Conqueror, but if it's them and the Fantastic Four, that could be pretty crazy. Keith, I'm curious, how much knowledge do you have on Kang? Have you read a lot on him?
A little, not a whole lot of comics, but mostly from my Marvel characters A to Z dictionary. And also, Jacob, I'm surprised, Jacob, you didn't bring this up, but I was late.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
But, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. He shows up on there, too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good storyline where he's pissed at Captain America for screwing up the timeline because he's in the wrong time or whatever. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing they could do. Really maybe good. It is. It's very good. It's very good. And
I think he's going to be mad at them for something they did in Endgame.
They'll probably
right, exactly.
Something will have shifted from the multiverse that'll piss him off.
Yeah, Endgame's the repercussions from Endgame are just they can literally go like this, just in any direction they want to because of everything that happened in Endgame. Like it's mind blowing.
Well, the Young Avengers connection is interesting too because you guys. I think you just alluded to it, Jacob. I mean, he's Iron Lad, right? Isn't he Iron Lad as well?
Brian had said that. Yeah.
Right before.
Okay. Yeah.
Right before you came in, I kind of gave like a rundown of it.
Right. Which is interesting because
you can tell. You can say what you want.
Oh no, just real quick. I was gonna say I know that. I hope maybe you said I don't know, but
no, we need him for this part.
He knows.
Oh, there we go.
And they're oh yeah. Oh, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good now.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, he knows his fate in his future, and they're constantly trying to avoid it, or he's trying to avoid it, and he still winds up going down that path anyway. And all the stuff that happens to him, and trying to avoid becoming this horrible person, and he winds up becoming that horrible person anyway. So that'd be an interesting take to see them do that if they choose to do the Young Avengers with him and Cassie Lang and all the others. So we'll see. It's cool.
I think for me, one thing that I took out of this also is my biggest question with the Disney Plus shows was, why are we making Loki? Other than the fact of we like Tom Hiddleston and he's fantastic. Why did there, because we have gotten no knowledge whatsoever of why this Loki show is important to the MCU, other than that he got away and he's going around.
And now we know.
Yes, I think this is where your time crap is going to come in, to where you're going to slowly get this Kang. I wouldn't even be surprised if he has something to do with the time variant agency.
That's what it's called, right? The time variant force, maybe TFA
agency. It's TVA.
Agency. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he has something to do with time variant authority, not agency. So that I honestly am starting to think, okay, this might be what Loki's really like, what he's all about. Maybe
it's not going to be the only purpose of the show, but it can be something that they veer from. Yeah.
So it might be interesting what that goes from.
For sure. Any last thoughts, guys, on this whole Kang the Conqueror thing, or if you guys even think he really is playing him in this movie?
I think he is, because the actor is brilliant, and I really want to see this dude come to real life. That looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because I still am not convinced that he's gonna play him.
You're not convinced, Brian? Why? Do you think they're gonna get a bigger actor? Is that why?
No, I find it very shocking that this would slip. This is huge. If this is true, this is huge.
It makes sense, though.
You think it was a slip? I don't think it was a slip. It was in like an exclusive article by Deadline. I don't think that's really a slip.
You think Feige would want the world to know that he's planning on bringing in Kang the Conqueror?
I mean, it's going to come out at some point.
Well, the official story is that he's cast in this movie. This actor's cast in the movie, and then the article says that his sources are telling him that.
Wait, Brian. So, do you think that they would have kept him playing Kang a secret the entire time? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not convinced that he's 100% that he is playing Kang.
What if he's playing Iron Lad? Was that more believable?
Well, he would have to be 16. That's how young Iron Lad is.
Oh, okay, never mind. I mean, maybe they changed the age. I don't know.
Well, he's a lad for a reason.
They could change the age.
Yeah, but a lad. I mean,
they could have a younger.
These days are,
they could have a younger.
Because the whole
in there and then he's the older Kang who comes and visits that younger actor.
My whole thing is, if I'm Feige, Kang is a Thanos level villain. I would imagine you would want to keep that under lock and effing key, that you're bringing in Kang the Conqueror, because Kang ain't going to be some one-off. He ain't going to just be the villain for Ant-Man. Like that, to me, if that, in my opinion, as a Marvel fan and someone that reads the comics, this is a huge effing deal if he's Kang the Conqueror. And for it to just be like, hey, this guy got cast, he's Kang the Conqueror, to me, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, they have to announce it at some time, though.
No, they don't. We didn't know Thanos was coming.
That's true, but
that was a post-credit scene. He wasn't a supporting character.
And also, this is not confirmed yet. So
those rumors were out there before Avengers came out. Those rumors were out there.
I just think it's really. Am I fine with him being Kang? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just more or less shocked that this is so like he's Kang the Conqueror, because that to me is he's a huge. There's like 10 villains that are like Marvel staples, and he's in that. So
Oh, I agree.
to immediately know it that quickly is just shocking to me. So
Well, we'll find out. I mean, all we know is for sure that he's going to be in Ant-Man 3, which I knew it was coming, but a reminder that Ant-Man 3 is coming just makes me so very happy. All right, Jake. So what else do we have to discuss today? Anything?
Well,
anything
we're gonna go
Oh,
backward
yes, that's
because Keith has
right.
joined us. And Keith, you don't have too much time because the big topic obviously is the Mandalorian. We got to make sure we save as much time as possible for that. So Troy, you watched Troy for the first time. Please tell me you liked it.
All right.
Oh,
Interesting.
Well, look, it came out in 2004, right? And I'm watching it, and this is right on the Gladiator back in 2000. You had Alexander, which is what I thought this was. I thought this was the Oliver Stone movie. I thought Troy was the Oliver Stone one, and I was like, Troy, I gotta watch an Oliver Stone movie. I don't like Oliver Stone. But then I looked and it's Wolfgang Peterson. I like him. So, and then you had that King Arthur movie that Antoine Fuqua directed. So there was a bunch of these at that time.
Kingdom of Heaven.
And I just that's right, Kingdom of Heaven. I like that movie. That's pretty good. I could see how you guys, little 7-year-old Jake Berlin.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
100%.
10-year-old Jacob Bartley probably would like this movie. No, honestly, I'm kidding, but just at that time, I felt a little dated just watching it. I remember at the time I just wasn't really that interested in it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It just felt a little. Everyone's totally chewing up. Brian Cox is just chewing up scenery left and right in this movie, just yelling about how much Achilles he'll kill me just as easily as he'll kill the other. He's complaining about how much he doesn't trust Achilles, and Brad Pitt is pretty good in it. I really liked Eric Bana.
Eric Bana as Hector.
Rose Byrne as Hector.
Yeah,
He's really
I
great.
forgot Rose
really
Byrne
great
was in this.
Rose Byrne's really good.
Yeah.
oh shit, you're right.
That's right.
Yeah, they're both really good. Yeah, I really like them, and it's one of those things that one of those ones where if it was on, I'd probably just kind of just have it on while I'm kind of doing stuff in the house or whatever. I wouldn't change the channel or so it wasn't a waste of time or anything. I said it wasn't bad. I just not something I really would have sought out. And I just remember, like I said, at the time I wasn't that interested in it, and then I'm watching it, going, yeah, it's really some of the fights.
I'm gonna mute Keith
cool.
in a second. I'm gonna mute him.
Big scale battles. It's hey. Again, if I had seen it when I was a little younger, if I was a teenager like you guys, I probably would have liked it more. But
I have one major question then. Did you like the Hector Achilles fight?
Yes. So when you messaged me, when you asked me if I had seen it, and I that's actually the part where I stopped it a few nights ago, and I picked it up and watched the rest of it last night. I said, "Oh, this is a really good fight. That's actually really, really good." But other than that, I know I was just kind of reading up on it. I know there's a lot of debate among historians apparently about whether or not any of this actually happened, and obviously all the God stuff and all that, whatever. But it was a good ending. I really like the ending. I like kind of what happened with Achilles, and if you know the lore, you know what happens. I'm not going to spoil it here, but it was a good scene. It was a good scene though. And the score's really good. And it's okay. Like I said, not bad, but I probably wouldn't watch it.
I'm so disappointed. Look, movies are subjective, but Keith, I love this movie so much, man. There's so many great things in it, like the opening scene where I
was thinking about you guys the whole time.
Achilles took that guy out, that huge guy out.
Took the big dude just with the one stab.
Yeah, and then when there's like one of the early battles where the big dude on Brad Pitt's side or whatever, the big dude Ajax was like tearing fools up, and then Hector goes in there and takes him out. Like, there's so many good things in this movie. But you're right, I was 13 when I watched it for the first time, and I am a Greek mythology obsessed with Greek mythology. So
yeah, I'm a history freak too, which is why I like it so much. I love swords and sandals. Like, it's like my jam. And so this for me, and Gladiator is far superior than this.
Well, of course, absolutely.
I there's something about this movie. I think Brad Pitt is like such a G in this movie as Achilles, and just everything about it is so cool.
He is good. I felt like a lot of this was they're trying to be Gladiator for a lot of it. And I was watching it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
everyone's making such big. Everyone's delivering their lines with all these big grandstanding like. Brad, I remember the part from the trailer where Brad Pitt's like, "Immortality, take it, it's yours." Like, I remember that in the trailer. That's the only thing I remember.
What is wrong with that, Keith?
So do you think it's like too cliche, like sword and sandal dialogue?
Yes.
Oh,
what about
very much?
Maybe that's what they were going for, and they 100% succeeded at doing so.
What about Sean Bean as Odysseus?
Orlando Bloom. Oh, I did like him. I did like Sean Bean. I was happy to.
Orlando Bloom is a fake in this movie.
Hey, Paris,
Brian,
Paris is a character. Hey,
Right.
Paris is a character you're supposed to dislike, though. You're supposed to dislike him.
Right.
Does anybody know
exactly.
movie trivia,
But
Keith? Without you answering, does anybody know who plays Achilles' cousin?
Oh, I know the actor's face. I can't think of his name.
Oh, the girl.
But
No,
the guy,
Achilles' cousin.
the guy who gets killed by Hector, and
Achilles' cousin. I'm sorry.
you're thinking of Hector's
the long
cousin,
hair,
right?
Yeah, Garrett Hedlund.
Is it really? Dude, I was gonna say he wasn't a star back then.
It's Garrett Hedlund. Yeah,
That's a 5-point question.
it is not a 5-point question.
Hey, I always wanted them to do Homer's Odyssey, like spin off with Sean Bean, like from where because that's where it happens right after he leaves the Battle of Troy. That would have been awesome.
I love all three of you, but
that would have been
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yes.
super fast. Super fast. Because I got to point out one quick thing. Orlando Bloom. Speaking of going back to my comment, Orlando Bloom had a line in this movie where he's talking to I forgot her name.
Helena, the beautiful Helen of Troy.
What's her name? She's from Inglourious
Diane
Basterds.
Kruger.
I'm sorry. Diane Kruger. Sorry. Yeah. He's like, I will see you again, or we will be together in this life or the next, he says. And I'm like, okay, they blatantly ripped off Gladiator word for word with that line. I was like,
you know what? I'm gonna mute Keith. You know what? He's muted.
Yeah.
He's muted. I'm muting him.
I'm gonna go watch Troy.
Let's move on
after this show now, just to make myself feel better. Do we have anything else interesting to talk about, Jake?
We have one interesting thing to talk about. It's the one thing that we've been waiting 43 minutes and 42 seconds to talk about.
Which is literally our display image, the title.
And that is the first official trailer for The Mandalorian Season 2 dropped in. My goodness, did we get some goody today this morning with this trailer. Brian and I did a reaction this morning. You can check that out on the channel. But for now, Brian, we're going to have to sit tight for just a quick second because we gave our quick thoughts earlier. I'm going to let Jacob and Keith do their quick thoughts before we get into kind of some cool theories and speculation about some stuff. So, Jacob, just instant reaction. The first thing that came to your mind as soon as that trailer finished earlier today.
So the first thing that came to my mind is I wanted more. I was like, give me more.
Oh.
But then, hold on, Brian. Can I finish talking?
Absolutely not.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Okay. So today, when I was
but immediately after that, I was like, this is perfect for a first trailer. And honestly, I don't even want to watch another trailer.
I don't need another
This
trailer.
Is all
Nope.
we need. It was very short and sweet, and it's like the thing is when I say give me more, I mean I want to watch the series right now. That's what I mean. But it was just they gave you just enough. Like it teased kind of what's going to be going on, and the best part of the trailer is when the child closes his little crib thing, and he's like, "Oh, I know what's going to happen here," and he just and it goes black for like 5-8 seconds.
Well, you
And
hear
you
the
just-
whistling birds, you hear them fighting, and then you see that final shot. Yeah.
Man, we need this just as a fan base, as as humans. We need this Mandalorian.
I'm guessing Keith is watching it right now because he's looking to the left.
100%.
When that show was going on,
live reaction right now.
yeah.
Actually, should we throw up on the screen right now? We can throw it up on the screen right now.
The theme song just made me feel so good inside.
Do you guys want to watch the trailer real quick before we talk about it?
Gotta get a chance to see it live. Watch right now. Yeah, put it on.
Do you need me
Let's
to
go
do
and
it?
do it. Let's watch it. Let's just watch it. It's only over a minute long. Let's just watch it.
Do you need me to do it?
No, I got it.
What is it? A ship. There's a ship on water. That's weird.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Another
Look at the look of this. The look of it is
The
ridiculous.
ship is open down there.
It's all beaten and battered. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one alive in there.
Yes, there is.
I love the music.
Only the
Man.
one with safety deemed such destruction. You must reunite it with its own kind. This you must determine. The songs of eons past tell of battles between
Oh, he's so
Mandalore
cute.
the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
Oh, this is so good.
Not Sabine.
You expect me
Not
to search
Sabine.
the galaxy
Oh.
and deliver this creature to a race of enemy sorcerers.
Do we know who that
This
is?
is the way.
No.
We know who's playing her. We don't know who it is.
That's weird.
You know this is no place for a child. Wherever I go, he goes. So I've heard.
That's so good.
This is the way.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So much goodness in
Yeah.
there. All right, let's get back to our thoughts now that we officially watched it.
I love how violent
Good
they're
stuff.
willing to go, even though it's Star Wars and Disney. I love it.
Yeah, I'll say this, and there's a lot of cool things to look at in this trailer. And like Brian said, we can ex-nay the fact that Sasha Banks, the woman in the hood, she's a professional wrestler. That is Sasha Banks. She is not playing Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That is not Sabine. More than likely, it's going to be a brand new character we have not met, and we can theorize as to the connection, whether she's good or bad. Maybe she's kind of like a middleman to someone else. But there's definitely a lot of possibilities with her. Jacob mentioned the good stuff with the child, obviously, which is great. And the one thing that I'll mention is that ice planet, I told Brian this, that ice planet is 1,000% the planet Ilum, which Ilum is the planet where the Kyber crystals are from in the Clone Wars, and later to be known as Starkiller Base. And Jon Favreau has said multiple times that they're going to go into the origins of the First Order. And there is your connection right there. that
makes
is your
sense.
connection right there. Boom. It would be awesome. What a perfect, subtle connection to the First Order just doing something like that. I think it'd be brilliant. Plus,
The
and Brian-
stormtroopers look badass in this thing.
And Brian can probably talk about it a little bit more, but a connection to the first to Jedi Fallen Order with Ilum as well.
Well, no, I think that was a different planet than Ilum, or was it? Oh no, it was Ilum.
Ilum
Yeah,
is a
you're right.
Jedi Fallen Order, yeah.
Well, no. And Jacob, have you beaten the video game yet? For God's sake! Oh my God.
Okay, we'll X-nay that then. Keith,
No, I don't
what
care.
about you, man?
Spoil it.
Keith, what about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, it's fine. Looks great. Looks awesome. Did we see Giancarlo Esposito? I didn't catch him.
No.
Unless it happened
No.
really fast. No. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a notable absence right there. But it, oh yeah. See, boy, did they need this. I knew this was coming after all the mess from last week. I knew that this was going to come soon. So I'm glad. It's about that time, anyway, it's coming out in a month and a half. So, yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait for Mandalorian Club. Talk about it every week. But,
Yay!
yeah.
Bring back
And,
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
We
man.
need new shirts.
Honestly, so yeah, right. Ooh, put season 2. Get shirts with season 2
God,
on it.
You need to put Baby Yoda in the background this time.
Let me figure that out. That's my job.
Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, we don't need the black helicopters flying over Jake's house. Take him away.
Hey, he got away with Ahsoka.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Was she rumored to be? It was just rumors that she was going to be on this, right? Or was that confirmed?
So she is one of the many characters to be rumored in this season. But out of all of the characters to be rumored, she is the one who is most heavily rumored. There's even rumors that she actually shot a scene for a trailer eventually. The fact that it wasn't in this, I am very happy. If she is in the show, don't show her in any trailers. You don't need to show her in any trailers. You don't need to promote this anymore with Ahsoka. People are already excited to see people are already excited to see this because of the Mandalorian and the Child. They're excited to see it because of Giancarlo Esposito. They're excited to see Cara Dune. They're excited to see Grief Karga. They're just excited to see more of this. And so you don't need to promote the show any more than you did the first one. You need to keep it quiet. You don't need to show much footage. I wouldn't be surprised if this is snippets from just a few episodes. I love what I see. It's different. You can tell that Mandalorian isn't just hiding that he has the child, obviously, and we get some really cool voiceover from the armor of that. You need to reunite it with its kind. Are we going to see the Yoda species, or is she alluding to the Jedi? Because the Jedi were mentioned.
Like she's alluding to the Jedi because he's like, why am I going to take it to these old, sorcerers?
He's gonna give it to Ahsoka.
I mean, we speculated.
I don't know. That's the most likely scenario, but I don't know.
I think he's gonna give it to Ahsoka. Which if he does, I'm gonna be disappointed. Actually, to be honest.
Well, what's she gonna do with it? What's she gonna do with it though? What is
take it back to his home planet or something?
It would make the most sense for Ahsoka to go to that planet rather than Mando. I will agree with that.
Yeah. So
but is there a point where this show exists without the child?
See, and that's the conversation right now. It's hard to see, but I think it is because you bring in the Mandalorians. It becomes a Mandalorian show where they kind of reinvent the Mandalorian way. Because right now the Mandalorians are extinct to everybody. They're essentially extinct. They're not. There's far and few between. And say you do hand the child off. That's kind of how you kind of segue into something new where you bring the Mandos back in and you kind of reintroduce them to the world with Din Djarin as leading a clan or whatever it may be.
Yeah. No, I think like us, we'd be totally cool with that. But
or he's the new Darksaber wielder.
There's people who started watching this show just because the child's on the show.
It's a dangerous.
They literally are. It's crazy.
Disney took a gamble, but the gamble's not over.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. But let's be honest. The Mandalorian name is bigger than just the child. It is.
It's not true. I agree.
And as much as losing the child may hurt, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni know what they're doing.
Yeah, and you can't keep the child around forever because the child's not going to age enough to where he can be going on a mission talking with the Mandalorian, So,
yeah. That's fair.
Is Robert Rodriguez? He's
directing an episode,
season, or was it season 3?
This season.
Season 2.
So is Peyton Reed. Peyton Reed is as well.
That's really cool.
Whoa,
and Jon Favreau is also getting behind the camera for one of the episodes.
Oh man, cool. All right, are they bringing back the people from last year as well, or no?
No, Deborah Chow because she's doing Obi-Wan. I believe the other
Okay.
person that's coming back is Rick Famuyiwa, and then Dave Filoni as well.
Isn't Bryce Dallas Howard coming back or
Yeah, I
no?
think she's
yes,
For one.
yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Man,
Cool.
that's
Okay,
Taika.
cool.
Give me Taika.
I hope Taika comes back, but he got announced for his own movie, so I think he's doing that.
I know. I don't expect him to. I just
Plus,
love
IG-11's dead.
so. I just love his take.
good.
on things. Like the stormtrooper punching baby. Like, who's gonna have the balls to do that but him?
And let's talk about these scout troopers on these speeder bikes. My goodness, did that look badass?
Yeah,
That looked so cool.
that looked really cool.
Brian mentioned it earlier today, but the look of it is incredible looking. It looks
Yes.
brilliant. There's so much cool stuff to look at. And the one thing we can talk about is the X-wing stuff. And I want to get you guys' take. I want to get you guys' take on whether or not you think that they are escorting him or that they are chasing him, because there's obviously a conversation going on between the two.
I think it's the New Republic.
Yes.
Whether or
It's
not
definitely, yeah.
whether or not
I think they're escorting personally.
Yeah, I think they're working together somehow.
yeah, I mean that shot of them lining up next to him doesn't portray attack, in my opinion. So
Although the S foils are locking in attack position, though they were opening up. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if they're attacking him necessarily. They might have been a target ahead that we didn't see.
if
Maybe so.
it is attack, I could see it being the New Republic, or someone in the New Republic has gotten wind of Baby Yoda, and they want him to bring Baby Yoda in, and he's like, "Nah, dude, this is mine. It stays with me." And then he just tries to get away from it.
Well, and maybe that's where that line came from, is where he goes, I go, or whatever he said.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like
At this point, Mon Mothma is in charge, right?
Yes.
yeah.
You think we'll see her?
Possibly.
No, I don't think we'll see her.
But if they could get the actress who played her in
Brian,
Rogue One.
she's in charge at this point.
I could have sworn she wasn't, or something else from Aftermath.
I believe
Actually, she
Mon-
might. She
Yeah, this is only
This
remember this is only
closer to
about 5
Return of the
years.
Jedi.
Yeah, this is only about 5 years after. Aftermath was what?
That was like 6 years before The Force Awakens. Aftermath.
Yeah, it
is.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. Yeah, it was a long gap.
There's
No, I
so
mean
many
it's-
things they could do like that in the
Yeah.
future. Like
Yeah,
Bring on your boy, Jacob.
the Sparrow. That's very possible. They could do something random like that. They really could.
You see Jacob's energy just go. Phew!
yeah, 100%, 100%. Every
think-
time, every
I was
time we
thinking
mention
about
the name.
They could do something like that though, which hypothetically, yeah.
You know what just came to mind when Jacob started talking about the scene from McLovin and Superbad? I got a boner.
He's only one of the greatest characters they ever made in the new novels.
He needs to be played by Tom Hiddleston, though.
The one thing I do want to mention about the trailer, because obviously there's a lot of good stuff going on, and we can talk about who Sasha Banks is playing and whatever. We're not going to know for a while. We'll theorize on other shows and stuff about who she possibly could be playing.
Well, did you see what Pablo Hidalgo said?
No, I did
Someone
not.
flat out asked him, what race is Sabine and her family, and he said they are of Asian descent. So
Yeah, that's why it would not be Sasha.
Sasha
That's why it would
Banks
not be.
is a black wrestler. She's not Asian.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I think that was kind of like the nail in the coffin when he said that they're Asian.
100%.
Yeah, and
100%.
Rebels is canon, so it would be consistent with her character from Rebels.
And it would just, and it would be wrong to do that. And with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau at the helm, they wouldn't
and
do
honestly,
that anyway.
that didn't even look like Sabine to me, to be
No.
honest,
No.
at all.
No. And they could just get the actress that voices her to play. She could play Sabine because she looks just Jacob. You know, she's on The Good Place. Jacob. She's the She's the girl that's the she's one of the demons that was the pretend Eleanor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
Jake, I just want
Yeah,
I
so,
just
I mean,
want
she
you
can
to
do
show up.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things. There's two things I took away from this trailer. Obviously, we talked about just all the goodies that we got from it, but there's one thing. One, they're not focusing, and I hope they don't. They're not focusing on showing us the characters that we are hoping to see. The Bo-Katans, the Ahsokas, the Rexes, those characters that have been rumored so heavily. And my God, if Katie Sackhoff shows up as Bo-Katan, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the second one is that we talked about the scene where Baby Yoda closes his crib, right? But when you look at it, for Baby Yoda from season 1, he's not that educated in doing something like that. He's not mature enough. It makes me wonder how quick their species ages. Like, if this takes place almost certainly like quickly after the first season, I'm wondering if maybe he's just getting used to Mando kicking everybody's ass and protecting himself, or if he's like fully coming aware and we might actually hear him speak in this season. Because that's a very aware move for something like for Baby Yoda to do compared to what he was doing in the first season.
I mean, I think it's a case of like his brain may be 50, but his body is obviously.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, he has the appearance and like speaking of a child or an infant, but like he's intelligent enough to do things like that because he stops fire with the Force and then pushes it out in the first.
That's true.
Season. So
that's true.
Murdered a stormtrooper.
Yeah. So
Just
I
saying.
think his mind is more mature than his.
Do you guys think we'll hear him speak though? Do you think it's possible?
I hope not. I like his little grunt and.
Well, because it's cute, yes, but like realistically, like
maybe like one word or something like that, but not like full sentences.
Okay, then
Only
all right,
if
let's
they
just
get
have some
right
fun.
odds.
Yeah, they definitely would. But let's have some fun. What's Baby Yoda's first word?
It's not Dada.
What's Baby Yoda's first word? Come on,
Mando. I don't know.
Brian's thinking of something. Brian, what's his first word?
No, well, I'm just going through a bunch of things. I'm thinking like help.
This is the way.
That's
actually not a bad one.
that was actually the one that I was.
Yeah,
It's not a bad one.
it's 4 words, but yeah.
I could see help, like a
Kill.
dramatic scene.
Kill.
Murder.
What if it's like it's probably gonna
Well,
be like the Mandalorian
will he-
gonna kill
will he
somebody
talk like,
and then it's like
will he
no or something.
What were you
Go
trying?
ahead, Keith.
Do you think he'll talk? I was gonna say, will he talk like Yoda? Will he talk backwards like Yoda does? Or will he talk
I
normal?
think
Did Yaddle talk?
we never heard Yaddle speak, so it's got to be a species thing,
Never-
and we don't know because they're so secretive. But it's got to be a species thing.
I could see. Oh no, that would be.
So he would say the way this is. Right?
This
Yeah.
is yes, exactly. That's why.
Oh man.
Wait, should that be our next T-shirt
That's why I
Yes.
asked that.
with Yoda ears coming off of it? The way
Yes.
this is.
There you go.
Molly would buy that. Like
I'm
that.
gonna start work on that shirt. I gotta make that. That's
that's
actually
our-
brilliant.
Mandalorian
Brilliant.
season 2 t-shirt.
That is, I'm making that shirt. I'm 100% making that shirt.
Before
Yes.
he even says it.
In a
Yes,
sec.
I'm making that shirt. That is brilliant. Yes.
We need a green
You
one
better-
though.
I'll make it green with this black font, the way this is, with Yoda ears coming off of it.
That'd be so cool. Well, pretty much wrapped it up, right? Talking about the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, it was only over a minute. There's not a lot to talk about, but there's some cool geek out moments from it. Obviously, like I said, we'll probably, if we ever get the nod to or the need to talk about anything, we'll probably just do like a spin-off episode of Now, quick with any of us who want to talk about it. And we have a month and a half until the series drops, or the season drops, and so we'll probably
better not do a stupid. Hey, look at our trailer, and put one of the like Ahsoka's Rex. Knowing that
yeah.
they will, I feel like they will.
I'll be honest though, I don't know because they didn't show Giancarlo Esposito in this one. They didn't show him in this. And
That's
so if they don't show him in this,
that's what's making me think the next one they'll do some crap like that. If
well,
they do,
if that's the case, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll be
But
really mad.
I don't think we'll see any of them in the trailers. I think they'll all appear in the episode.
I hope not. But real quick, it's a cool little plug for us. In case you guys don't know, we do a Mandalorian review show on the channel. We call it the Mandalorian Club. We do it the day the episode. Just because of earlier. We do it on the day the episodes drop, and we're going to be even more accessible now to do it earlier because of StreamYard and everything. We didn't do StreamYard last year. We can jump on right away after on StreamYard here, and so that'll be available every Friday. The episodes drop, and it's just a 20 to 30 minute show here on the channel where we review the episode, spoiler talk, live, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys
Jake,
and you guys can find Mandalorian clubs.
Yeah,
T-shirts.
Jake, I was gonna say you could do it as a Mandalorian special, like breaking down the teaser trailer or something.
We will definitely do a preview show because we no longer have Padawan anyway. We'll definitely do one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Keith, you wanted to touch on something real quick?
Yeah, super fast because I don't know if anybody else has done this, but I caved, I broke down, I gave in, I folded. And I went and saw Tenet Saturday night.
Oh, what?
You out of everyone. Jacob's seen it too. You son of a bitch, haven't you?
I
knew it. I saw it by his reaction.
I didn't know Keith had seen it.
Brian, let's go Friday.
Hey, it's Century Roseville's
I wanted
open.
to wait and get a live.
Blue Oaks is open.
Look,
Right,
I
that's
had
where
a
I
great
saw it.
experience. Everybody was wearing their masks. I had nobody 6 seats either way next to me. I felt pretty safe, to be honest. And I enjoyed the movie.
When we went, the only reason I went is because I was booking the ticket and it was empty. Nobody was there. So I asked the kids, I asked Charlize and Sophia, you guys want to go see Tenet? It was a 10:30 show. Now by the time we got there, there was maybe like 7 or 8 people also in the theater, but yeah, it was it was empty. I was surprised, but maybe after you guys see it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we should do a spoiler discussion after you guys see it.
I would like to say one last thing.
Hey, I didn't even tell anybody. I kept it to myself.
Mute him.
Me either.
Okay, I would like to say I was the only one when we did. Are you ready to go back to a theater? I was the only person that said, yeah, probably, and got shit for it. Yet every one of you are before me.
Hey, Brian,
You guys,
go back and watch that episode. If you notice, I wasn't going hard either way because I knew if Tenet came out, I would go watch it.
And we'll never invite them to theaters ever again.
no.
Listen,
Yeah.
it was Jake. It was in your neck of the woods too. I was like, should I? I wonder if I should message him.
You bastard!
It was literally last.
You mother effer!
It was
Because Placer's
mother
open, Sacramento
last
County's
minute.
not.
Right,
Oh my
right, exactly. It was a 10:30 show. It was
Guys,
a 10:30
I
show.
took my
and
girl
it was
to
like
see it. She has no
9:45.
interest in that movie.
You're
But-
making your case worse. You're making your case worse.
Let's wrap this up. I can't take this anymore.
But anyways, one day we'll do a spoiler review of Tenet. But yes, there you go. That does it for this episode of Apocaflix. Now,
Brian's face.
thank you all for joining us. You can join us again in 2 days on the Thursday episode. And yes, please don't forget to buy one of our great t-shirts like we were talking about. We have Mandalorian t-shirts up there, not 2 designs. I have 2, so I think there's 2 designs, but I have a red one and a blue one. They're so awesome. Great design by Jake. And of course, find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at Apocaflix.
We're announcing our watch along movies on Thursday.
We will be announcing our next watch along films on Thursday. Till then, peace out.